Good evening, this is your Psychic LJ reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody there? It is 11:08 PM UK time, heading towards the witching hour. Let me see. I've got Twitchers in. Good evening, Graham. Stooge. Am I live on YouTube? Hi, everybody. Howdy in Mexico, New Mexico. Can anybody tell me if I'm live on YouTube tonight? Hiya, David Fletcher. Oh yeah, YouTubers coming in. Hiya. Oh, thank you. Hello there, Fanny Touche. How yous all doing? Let's get my cup of tea. I can't seem to get the temperature right in here, guys. It is bloody freezing over here in the north of the UK. And it's definitely winter now. But like the heating, I've had it on, got radiators here, and it's getting the temperature right where I think it's when you're going through the menopause. It's either too hot or not right, you know. Does anybody else have that problem? Hiya there, Alan in Iceland. Cheers. Nice cup of brew. Cup of English tea. Greetings in South Africa. Hello there, Rita. Ali Pat. Paula in Massachusetts. Am I pronouncing that right? Hi, menopause is the pits. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you all are around the world as the clock is in countdown towards the US election and temperatures are rising. Oh, they are rising, guys. It's about to get very heated in the USA. It really, really is. So, as promised, I'm going to look into it again for you tonight and see what's in store. Because you never know, because timelines change all the time. And we'll have to keep checking. I was at my mum's today and she's coming along great because she fell and broke her hip. She thinks Trump's going to get back in. My mother's quite psychic, so I'm going to look into it. You never know. You never know, do you? I've been thinking a lot about it, you know, and I think it's an odd thing. It's not an odd. Well, it is odd. It's odds. It's mathematical. It's either some things are fated in your life and some things aren't. Does that make sense? And I think with this situation, I don't know if it is a fate thing or not. I really don't. I just think it's very odd what's happening at the moment. This is very true what David Fletcher's put here on Twitch. Louise, Trump has an edge that he didn't have in the last two elections. I was studying one of the latest pictures of him just this afternoon and I thought, good God, he looks really drained. But then again, anybody would, wouldn't they, what they're going through with all the hatred and that towards him. Hiya there, Donna in Florida. And so I've been full of cold, guys. I'll tell you what's been happening. I caught cold. Friday was not very good for us. I had to go back to the vets because Zizi took an itching fit. And she cut herself and she had to have some stitches with her nails. And I was really upset. I had gone all the way there when it took ages to get there, and a friend took us. It was out in the country. And she had some light therapy, and sometimes it can burn or it can itch them, but she's always been fine. And on the way back, she took like this itching fit, and I had her in like the carrying cat case. And I just kept putting my hand in and saying, there, you'll be fine. And as I got home, she had this orange pumpkin on, like a pumpkin collar from Halloween, just to stop her itching. And obviously she caught and got her nails underneath it and cut herself. So, you know what cats are like, they've got quite sharp nails. And with her dermatitis, so she had to have some stitches. So I was absolutely to take away. They had to knock her out. So my dear friend John, I don't know if he's watching tonight, big thank you. Big thank you. I couldn't have got through Friday without him. We went for something to eat. Well, I tried to have something to eat. That's another story. I might get John on the show one night and he'll tell you about it. And anyway, to cut a long story short, I had a little look around Dobby's and that, and watching looking at the Christmas trees and stuff like that, just to try and take me mind off it all. And we had to wait 2 hours while she was having this bloody operation. And because she's so tiny compared to she's so thin and skinny and but very strong. And she was worried. Dr. Sharon was worried about her because she seemed like she was deteriorating with her dermatitis. So I demanded to have some blood tests done, and they've all come back perfect. So apparently she's just a skinny little cat. She's just a little fairy Annie. She's just very strong-minded, that's for sure. So she's, Dr. Sharon wants her in these like sort of bodysuits, you know, with a polo neck, so she can't literally get to her sores while they're healing. And so they're like a full baby grow, you know, like what a baby would wear. And in fact, it's like a preemie baby. It's like she's in this all-in-one thing with the presteds underneath her tail, and she's sitting there like that. And anyway, I gave her her meds last night, and she's been really great since she's come back. And she was sat there, and I says, "Night, night, darling." She didn't want to come up with me. She was lying in her bed, and she was purring. So I went to bed, and I got up this morning, came down the stairs at 9 a.m. this morning, and she was sitting on the couch without it on. She took the bloody thing off. Don't ask me how she got out of it, but she was sitting there like that, looking at us, and I thought, how you got out of that? But anyway, she hadn't had a go of it. The stitches are still in. She's getting the stitches out next Friday. But yeah, they were worried about her having the anaesthetic, but she's come through the anaesthetic. So I've managed to convince the Dr. Sharon that she needs to, once she gets over the stitches out and that, I think it's hormones, and I think that she needs to get they need to get done. Yeah, the cats need to be done. And then I think that it's been put off because of her dermatitis. But I'm going to get her done. Yeah. So they didn't want to put her underneath anaesthetic with her being on steroids and being so tiny. But she's come through it, and she's stronger than ever. Oh, she's like a little Houdini brownie. Yeah. So I had that. And as I come out of the place, I had a t-shirt on. And we got caught in a snowstorm. And I don't know if that just made us feel chilled. So I spent all day yesterday sneezing, coughing and sneezing and that. And of course I wasn't going to come on, but I thought, no, it's the election and I've promised you coming up. But then somebody had reached out and told us about Little Peanut, and I just wanted to talk about it tonight. How horrific we have come as a human. I mean, what the hell is going on in New York? I'll never know, but that's awful. So I want to do prayers for Little Peanut and Little Peanut's owners. Horrible. If anybody doesn't know what I'm going on about, it's a squirrel. A young lad and his wife who live in New York who had rescued this squirrel. And I believe they had another raccoon as well. But they were tame, and they had them on a show. They were TikTok, YouTube sort of famous for quite a while, like 7 years. And then all of a sudden he was raided by the FBI or whatever, and the animals were taken away. said that they were dangerous, and they weren't dangerous. And apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but the little squirrels and the raccoon have been put to sleep. Isn't that horrible? Horrible. I mean, there's illegal immigrants flooding over our borders and raping young women, and they get a slap on the wrist and by the government, and yet they can break into someone's house in the middle of the night, FBI, and take an innocent little animal and put it to sleep. Where's the justice? Sorry, I'm just going to get comfortable. And it really sort of got to us, you know, it's a little baby squirrel, little peanut, who wasn't hurting anybody. Poor little baby peanut. And the funds that they had towards this famous squirrel, little peanut, were going towards helping other animals as well. It's not right, is it? So I wanted to do a prayer for animals tonight, because I really do feel it's really upset us, guys. How evil man can be. Do you know what I mean? How wrong this world is. How wrong the laws are. Oh my God. How wrong the laws are. It's so bad. And it's not even better over here with that lunatic in bloody Parliament. He's just as bad. So I just feel my heart goes out to this young couple. I really don't know what to say. But apparently Little Peanut was famous on TikTok. It's awful, isn't it? At least he had 7 years with his dad. With his human family. We're the only species. Like, animals will kill to eat. Or sometimes if they're fighting. Like predators. But we're the only species what will just kill for the sheer sake of it. I want to look into New York tonight. It's awful. It's really, really awful. And squirrels don't even carry rabies. Well, I don't think they do anyway. But it's not the point. He didn't have them anyway. He didn't have it. Somebody apparently reported them. But, you know, anybody can go around reporting anybody. But, you know, like, they're just using that as an excuse. They didn't have to go to that extreme and go and kill the little mite. The little innocent little creature. The little darling. It was his pet and it was his little friend, you know what I mean? I just think it's really vicious and nasty. I mean, there's no, it's evil what they've done. And to go to that extent, to get all them people, all the government, and why aren't they breaking into paedophiles' houses and other lunatics' houses? Do you know what I mean? People who are doing horrible things to kids and into women and that, and you know, why are they doing this? It just goes to show, doesn't it? The veil is so thin at the moment, so thin. And I think there's no in between. I think that it's either really evil or really, really nice. It's like we're finding out who's supposed to be in my life and who's not, and who's good and who's not. That's what they should be doing, Homebird, is catching human traffickers, yes, instead of pets. But I did say that, didn't I? I says we need to start watching our pets. So the animals are really under attack as well. They really, really are. So, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it because I can't be on here too long tonight because I've got to get up early in the morning. I've got a man coming to fix some... I've got the gas man coming from British Gas. He's coming to fix some household stuff. And I've got Adam's social worker coming to see him for his autism and the help he needs. So yeah, so I've got a busy morning. Ugh, God, I hate them. I hate them mornings, do you? When you've got loads of appointments. But yeah, so a big thank you to people who have been asking after Zizi. So she is actually all right. So she's on a medication to keep her calm. I've given her half the dose because I don't like doing it really, but she's absolutely fine, and she's purring and she's eating and her nose is wet, and the stitches, it looks like it's really healed up very quickly. It's definitely hormone linked, definitely. I'll be very much happier when she's done. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has had problems with their animals with the same thing. But yeah, I'm just thinking how much I love my cats, you know, and my dogs when I had my dogs. And I couldn't even imagine what that young couple's going through with little Peanut. I couldn't even imagine it. It's bad enough losing an animal anyway, but when an animal's been ripped away from your home, your pet, and then killed and murdered, I mean, it's just a healthy animal, by the way. Isn't it? I mean, what are they going through? I don't think they're going to leave it there, you know. I think we'll take it further. But I think you can sign the petition. I think there's a petition out where you can support him to take it further. Don't quote us, like, you'd have to look into it. So for new people coming in, what I'll start with the forming the circle of light, a bit like coming to a spiritualist church, just to put that angel protection around us all, because we're all feeling it at the moment, aren't we? Exactly, Wolf Mother, it's pure insanity. So if you're worried about anybody or anything, any persons, animal, anything, just write the name in the comment section and you will receive the healing or the prayers that you need. Remember, this is timeless, okay? And hey ho, let's start. Yeah, in these crazy times. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, and Ra. Any star beings that like to come forth, angels, fairy elementals, anybody from the spirit world, to come forth to give us true answers tonight with love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. Okay. Now, excuse me if I start sniffling. I don't know if you can see I've got a red nose there. I'll put some Vaseline on it. So you don't need to keep blowing your nose. Because my nose was like a dripping tap yesterday. But I feel a lot better today. But it is really cold over here. Really cold. Helen, has anyone else's screen frozen with the loop of eternity going around? You know, is this on my show? Is that just general? Happy birthday to somebody in the audience. Happy birthday to all Scorpios in the house, yeah? Well, it's my birthday on the 18th. What date is that? It's Adam's on the 11th. He was born on Remembrance Day. On the 11th hour of the 11th month of the 11th day. Now, when does the 18th, when does that land? Oh, it's a Monday. Ugh. I might decide to come out on, see what's what. Oh dear me. Another year older. Your mum's on the 11th. Yeah, we're both Scorpios. The cats are Cancerians. my oldest son, he's a Pisces, so he's really sensitive. My daughter-in-law, she's a Capricorn. And my little granddaughter is an Aquarius. Aye, and so on and on. My dad, he's a Virgo. My brother was a Gemini. I get on really well with Geminis. Excuse me. My mother's a Cancerian. Sometimes I think it's not so much the sun sign. I think it's the rising sign as well, isn't it? Your nephew is the 18th. I can't read myself, Jacqueline. Well, I could. I mean, I get vibes and I get visions. But it's like for years I've seen myself sitting in the doctor's room in a hospital with and we're putting saline drips into us, and I'm thinking, bloody hell. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? And I was always under the impression, was I going to end up being diabetic or something? And I could see them injecting us with this little thing that they were putting into us. And of course it turns out that it was the immunotherapy that I was getting. And so we don't always know everything. I seen the vision, but I didn't know what it was. Maybe you're not supposed to know everything. Because sometimes I think when you're reading your own cards, your ego takes over, and then you just want to see what you want to see. This is why I'm very dubious about the dowsing, because I've watched dowsers, and I'm not saying that they're manipulating it, but if I honestly think that we're multidimensional beings, so you could actually make that dowser go a yes or a no if you wanted it to. Because me and my mum, we dowsed asking if my brother was going to be okay, and it said yes, and obviously he died. So after that, I've never touched a dowser since. I'm very dubious about a dowser. I'm going to look at the US election again there, Sylvia. Yeah, because I do as well. Sparkle and Shimmers put here in Twitch. The dowsers do reflect your subconscious feelings at the time. I think that as well. I really do. I hope I don't start sneezing and snotting and coughing. Okay. First of all, I'm going to pull some cards out on the situation to why they did this to Peanut. Okay. And there was a raccoon, wasn't it? I can't remember what the raccoon was called, but he had two pets. Let's have a look. Julie Brett, what's the cubes, Louise? I know. I've seen this vision. If anybody hasn't checked it out, you can go back. I should really timestamp it for you. And they were going to send in a technology, and it was an extraterrestrial technology to clean up. It's a future technology that they use in other places and other times, other worlds, but to bring it here Actually, I do believe they are doing it here, but it might be in places like Antarctica and places like that. But to clean up the, to give her free energy and to clean everything up. And the cubes were connected to the sun, but they were also connected to putting something into the earth to give free energy. And I could see them, they were linked with water. So into the future, I could see these cubes and they were floating over seas and lakes and they were just like levitating, like an extraterrestrial sort of, I want to say a UFO ship, but not. It's an actual technology that maybe we don't understand. And I could see them coming and they were going to bring with free energy. So that's why I got the great prophecy. I got it last week, and it was that the cubes are coming. Exciting. So, not all technology is bad. If it can give with the help with to get the light from the sun or whatever and generate it around or and I believe that I actually did a remote viewing. It'll be in my library somewhere. I think it was remote viewing actually on Mars. And I seen what they were doing with the jellyfish. I don't know if anyone's seen it. If you haven't, I'll stick it in the description afterwards in the YouTube of the video of this live, and then you can check it out. But it's basically I seen where they were creating all these beautiful little, gorgeous little, flimsy, colourful little jellyfish. And then they were putting them into the sea and letting them, but they had an artificial intelligence in them, which was fine. These actual jellyfish had soul connected that they would help Earth. Well, they were doing it with Mars. There's an underground sea. This is what I was shown. There's 2 underground seas there. That's what I was shown. And these jellyfish procreate, they live their life on the seabed, but they analyze and take information back to them, to the human or the android, wherever was controlling it. And it was cleaning up the seabeds, and it was actually, they were procreating and they were happy, but they were also helping to contribute towards cleaning like the planet. And they brought some of this in and put it in into some seas around China oceans, and they wanted to bring more in. That's what I could see. It was all galactic stuff that I was jellyfish are great observers, yeah. So there you go. And I actually got they were very highly intelligent jellyfish. So let's look into this little darling peanut. Got a jumper here. Yeah, it was definitely planned. It was an operation. And I believe that there was somebody full of hatred. Possibly 3 people, but one in particular. Horrible, horrible energy of a woman who had it in for... there might have been a man involved as well, but there was a couple of people and they'd all got together. One of them knew somebody else as well, okay? But there was a vengeful energy that I'm getting from a female who wanted to really take him down. Oh, thank you, Sammy. And hurt him. And I've talked about this before, this snake energy. Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call it. Old Nick, I call it. He's slithering around, and if he can't get to you, he'll get to you either through your health, your wealth, your kids, your pets. It's evil, and the only way to take this lovely young man down was to get to him by taking away his squirrel, his little friend. My mother said the most bizarre thing, and I'm gonna. My mother's very psychic, My mother doesn't like Trump, but she knows that my dad does. My My dad walks around with a MAGA hat on. But my mother doesn't like him. But she said the strangest thing this afternoon. She says, Louise, he's coming back. And she said, you know that young man with the squirrel? I said, her. She says, he wasn't like a MAGA or a Republican, was he? I says, why'd you ask that? She goes, she says, you know, there's some very nasty, nasty people out there. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about, he's called the young man who had the squirrel, who, the squirrel Peanut, what was taken away. I believe he's called Mark. I can't remember his surname. But that's Mark, and upside down, so definitely targeted. So there could have been a political movement behind it, or interesting. Who is Peanut? Peanut is the squirrel what got taken away by the FBI. You can actually, it's all over the internet. This young man, they burst in and took his squirrel, and the squirrel was a TikTok sort of famous squirrel. Good morning, Coco in Japan. How are you doing? What's the weather like over there? But it's getting a bit nippy, is it? Bit nippy in Japan. So we've got the world card here. Let's have a look. Yeah, definitely an attack. So there's Mark. And we've got like the Seven of Swords there, like trying to ruin him. Thank you also to the new subscribers coming in on both channels, on Twitch and YouTube. So we've got like stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, you know. It's like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, you know. If you're a good boy, you're a good girl, you know, you'll get like this happening, that happening. And I think he's possibly upset some people. And I think it's just been plainly someone's jealousy. Trying to bring his world down. Trying to bring his world down. This is really weird, and it's coming out really, really strong. Something doesn't seem like it is. Is it definite that the squirrel's been put to sleep? Because there's some news to come out with this. I'm not so sure. They said that the squirrel and the raccoon had rabies, but I don't believe it. I don't believe they did. It actually brought home to, I don't know if anyone's seen the film called Lyle. Lyle the Crocodile. It's filmed in New York. I watched it just about a few weeks ago. And I was sitting crying watching it. Has anybody seen Lyle? It's a singing crocodile. And the guy who tries to come and take him away, you know, with the big net. So it had that same energy. Because that's what, like, Peanut was like a singing, sort of, like, entertaining sort of Peanut the squirrel, you know. You have to watch it. If anybody hasn't seen it, watch Lyle. You've got to watch the movie. I'm not really into stuff like that, but Adam had watched it. He put it on one night, and then he'd gone to bed, and I sat and watched it. It's really, really good. And another good movie as well is Paddington Bear. That's good as well if you just want to get lost in the movies. You know what I mean? Let me have a look. We've got the Justice here. I think that they're going to take it further. And of course there's memes going around, and of course Elon Musk's jumped on it, and Trump's apparently said something, and it's like, I'll protect the squirrel, you know what I mean? Like he was going to protect the the ducks or whatever, you know, and the geese and all of that type of thing. So yeah, I think if you watch the kids' movies, it really relaxes you. That's what Maggie's put here, Motherwell, and it's so true. There is a Paddington Bear 3 coming out soon. Okay. Yeah, it's really evil, like really, really evil. I think there'll be some investigation into this. But something, I'm not saying he's alive, but I don't know if he is. Something doesn't feel right with this information. This is the feeling I'm getting. So if he has passed, I don't know if it's a case there's more information to come out, but there's something more shocking information to come out with it. So remember that. Yeah, Hugh Grant plays a great part in Paddington. I'm trying to see if I can tune in with little Peanut in spirit. I'm not getting him in spirit. I'm not seeing him in spirit. And that doesn't mean he's not in spirit. It's just I'm not picking him up that he's in spirit from this end. Okay, so there's more information to come out. We've got the Sun card, which is a nice surprise or a pleasant surprise. Will there be people in trouble with this? Something dark's going on in New York, isn't it? There's been money paid here, like there's been money. Oh my God. Why am I getting this lies and deceit with this, and I'm getting money involved? I'm not saying that's the name of the raccoon is called Fred. No, I'm not seeing them in spirit, Hazeltine. Star Moon Stars, is it a publicity ploy and a distraction? Let me check. I need a cup of tea. Eh, my goodness me. Do I sound like I've got a cold? Is it a publicity ploy? Yes. Yes. Like a distraction. This it's all right. This is like distractions. Don't look over here. Look over here. Deceit. And not just deceit, major deceit. When you've got the upside down moon, really major deceit. Remember, the mayor is getting indicted. And J9's just made a good comment here. Good point. Excuse me. The owner said, Mark, he was not sure if they had been euthanized or not. So there's definitely been somebody who's made the call, and there is deceit here, but as well. Do you see what I mean? There's so much manipulation going on the news. You're just like, what do you believe? You know what I mean? But I would say there's a political side to this. It's really weird. Money being paid here. There's more information to come out with this. A woman reported them, and to keep face, they did this. It's awful. There's been some money handed over with this as well. Right. I'm just going to pull one more card out on little Peanut and his little fellow friend, Fred. There's going to be some information to come out with all of this. And again, the Knight of Cups, that could be the owner. Or maybe it's another male coming forward. But that's like shocking information what's coming out. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Judgment. The Judgment's coming out. There's something political, there's something like a hierarchy linked with this. I'm not saying it's a hoax. I'm not saying it's a hoax at all. But they could have fitted him up. Does that make sense? Because I generally do feel that this couple is real. And it has happened. But I definitely feel that there's it's been done to distract. There's some upset with this. I think that it's like they've used him to distract the public. They've used him to distract the public. It's weird. We've got to have sympathy, and we've got to hold the light and the love around these little animals. Now, if they have crossed over, I'm certainly not picking them up tonight. But I'm hearing a beating heart. I see a little beating heart with these furry animals. Okay. We've got the Emperor card here. All is not what it seems. Everything, we're being so distracted and so conned left, right and centre. Interesting. Jimmy Carter's ex-US President's Secret Service code name was Peanut. That's so interesting, isn't it? Empress. The Tower. This is the race running up to the election. And that's Kamala Harris. Kamala, I don't know how you pronounce her name. Kamala? Queen of Swords. We've got an Empress energy next to her. Okay. We're being heavily distracted. And we've got the Tower. You need to hold on to your hats, guys. I think this election's going to be a corker. And like I said, I've been seeing it all year. It's not going to bring peace. Far from it. What I do get is that the shit is about to hit the fan, basically. I mean, to me, the Ace of Swords is like showing me that she's going to cut through it and she's going to win. I'm still sticking with it. Alan Lehman goes on about the 13 keys. That's a win. Okay. So why am I getting the Tower? Let me have a look. I can't get this song out of my head. Love me like you do. Love me like you do. We've got the Strength, and we've got I see a lot of trouble. I really do see a lot of trouble. It's neck to neck as well. Now that's what it's perceiving and it's looking like, unless there's some falseness going on with the polls. Right at the end. Now the other night I was getting, I think I talked about it on Halloween, didn't I? Or maybe it's last Sunday. That there would be a red mirage, bit like the last time, and then there would be this blue tsunami. But I'm not so sure. I'm still seeing like another red wave as well with the younger generation here. There's going to be a lot of to and throwing. I believe it'll be Kamala Harris who will be inaugurated. But Trump is going to, I don't know if it's going to be mentioned on its Twitter X. I don't know if this is from Elon or Trump, that he's the winner. And there's going to be some confusion. And I don't know if it's when it's coming in, when there's the wave, one of the waves coming in. Because I don't think that the full answer is going to come in on the 5th. History is going to repeat itself, yes, Sue? I believe so. I believe so, sweetie. Who is the woman with the blonde hair? And I've always seen a woman with blonde hair as well as the woman with the dark hair. Is that Liz Cheney? You know who I've also been getting all day today as well is Trump looks very, very tired. I mean, I'm not surprised with all the hatred towards him. He does. He looks really, really tired. But I get a really weird feeling about Vance. Is it Vance? Is that what it's called? He hasn't come into his full potential yet. I know there's some people in the audience don't like him, but he hasn't come into JD Vance yet. He hasn't come into his full potential, him. You need to watch for him. Vance won't go away. Say for example, if Trump doesn't get in, that'll be the end of Trump, right? I'm going to be perfectly frank about this. But Vance will come back. Vance could run himself into the future. But there's something interesting about him. He is strange, isn't he? Vance has room to grow. That's it. I'm going to put these back together again, and I'm going to... I don't think he's on Trump's side fully, no. And I like what Hazeltine's put here. Vance would make an excellent young Republican president. Don't forget, my channel's not political. I'd look at it from both sides, okay? Jacqueline, I don't know who Vance is. I need to read his energy. It's the vice president to Trump. This is what I'm gonna do, right? Because this is important. I know you all want to know it. I'm gonna pull a set of cards out. I'm gonna pull out 3 cards for Trump's energy on the 6th of November. Not the 5th, the 6th. Give me a true answer. I should have got some lemonade or something from the shop. I made a chocolate cake tonight, guys. Quite impressive, actually. I just did it from the old bureau book. I put Maltesers on it. Three cards for Trump on the 6th of November. I don't want to play into all the hatred what's out there. There's a loss. Elon needs to go to Mars and stay there. Okay. It feels really got that. Right, so we've got the 5 of Swords. Upside down High Priestess. Just like he wants a recount. He's shouting for a recount. It's just like history repeating itself. This is going to be slightly different to 2020. Because last time he wouldn't hand stuff over, would he, to Biden? This time he's not really in the picture. There's something what's going to happen around, I'm very drawn around Twitter X. Something's been planned, something's been said. Calling upon something, big announcement. Something huge is going to be exposed or come out. This is like, get your popcorn, guys. Something big is coming. I need to pull another 3 cards, dear God. Got the World. Got the Strength. I'm getting the word delusional, and then that might be what they might be saying on line, on news or whatever. You know, like they want to lock him up and they want to put him in jail and all of that, but it's not going to end the way you think it's going to end. I get a very James Bond feeling here, and I get a very I don't know, I just get like a really weird feeling like this. It's like they're going to pull something out the hat right at the end, him and Elon. it's really quite gobsmacking. That timeline's coming out really, really strong. I'll just double check, because you never know. Is it possible that he could win the election? Is it possible that he could win the election? I mean, anything's possible when it comes to politics, isn't it? Love me like you do. No, but he's going to claim he has. I'm the second psychic what said like a James Bond feeling. That's what I get. Austin Powers as well. You know, like mini-me. It's like, I'm not saying he's going to eject a seat and my little mini-me is going to come flying from Elon Musk's chair at X-Twitter. But there's something weird. I can't put my finger on it. And I get yachts. Then I'm getting like an Epstein feeling. It's really creepy, but I'm getting posh yacht. So I'm just forewarning you now, Republicans. It's not over until the fat lady sings. I shouldn't really say that, but it's a saying. Just metaphorical. If he does get in, I know this sounds really, really horrible. He will not do long, because something awful will happen. And God's got this one. I wouldn't put it past Trump that if he doesn't get in, that he just flees the country or something. There he is, King of Wands. But I'm still sticking with my original vision. So I'm going to pull some cards out for Kamala Harris. It's going to be quite a one. Bigger than the 2021. Give us some true answers. On the 6th of November, I'm going to go back to outcome, inauguration day. Whoops. Yeah. There is a clear announcement that she's won, but there's also a loud noise coming in that she hasn't won. Does that make sense? There's a lot of arguing on social media, but that's like clearly won, right? But there's like, they're saying there's a stall on it, and there's kickoffs about it. There's massive kickoffs about it. That's the same card I got with the peanut card, and I don't understand it. There has been some manipulation with the polls, you know. There really, really has. That always reminds us of like New York in the background. Like New York in the background there. You will get happiness back in the US, you know. It's going through a massive transition. I can see her so strong. I've got to go with my vision. I mean, yeah, it would be epic if he won, wouldn't it? It would be, but I've got to go with my vision, guys. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you've got to understand, you know, she is going to be, I know there's a lot of people in this audience who possibly don't like her, but it's also going to be epic either way. And I'll tell you why it's going to be epic either way. Devastating either way as well. Yeah, depending on what you like. But epic if Kamala Harris wins, because she's going to be the first woman president. That is huge. That's all about women power and everything. Huge, right? And if I step out of the situation, like look into it, it's like it's all to do with the collective, and it's like the feminine energy and everything, and women taking back their power. But she's not just a woman, she's a woman of colour. I mean, that's just like, that's huge. That's huge. And it's not just going to happen here. It's not going to just happen in the US. It's going to happen all over. And I'll get to the UK in a minute, right? It's also going to happen over here as well. Because don't think for 1 minute that he's going to be in Parliament long, because he's not. Right? I'll get to that soon in a minute. So that's going to be epic, all right? And it's going to be a big one, all right? No matter what you see, there's still a lot of racism what goes on in the US, right? So that's nice that she can get in, all right? If he gets in, right, I think that it will be epic. I don't care what anybody says, right? I want no nasty letters from lefties or anything. It will be epic for the righties that he gets in. It will be. And obviously he's an old man. But I also get a sadness because I feel something will happen to him. Something will happen to him. She is the transition, what is opening a door for other women. She's just the doorway for bringing in other women. There's also something else which I haven't mentioned, and I may as well just go for it tonight because this is going to be the last time before the election. What would be the case if it was a tie? What happens then? Could the country split into two? What a big fight. Maggie, that's funny. If it's a tie, it will go to the Supreme Court, Congress. There's going to be... It's all about the timing. Because they're going to be arguing. Remember this. They're going to be arguing about the timing. And there's going to be a manipulation with timing, and it's coming in from Twitter, X. This is what I'm being given. Remember this. So they're going to be arguing about that it's too close, so it has to go to Supreme Court. This is what the Republican side's going to be saying. But the proper results is that the blue's there and the red's there. All right, but they're not going to be. This is what they're going to be saying, and they're going to be, the Republicans are going to be trying to push it to go to Supreme Court. Goes to Congress. Let's have a look. It's you couldn't write this. You couldn't write this. Split down the middle. Split down the middle. Justice. This shit is about to hit the fan. We've got the Tower card. We've got the Justice card. I really don't think that the answer... I think there's going to be a block on this. I think that it's going to get pretty... Yes. So what you've got to do is you've just got to understand that everybody's going through an ascension, on this planet. And my understanding is, I believe that politics is just part of the matrix of the control. But everybody's here, all the main players are here to play their part, to clear up whatever they have to do. All right? So Trump's in to play his part, to expose stuff, right? Which he has. He's awakened a lot of people. But then you've got Kamala Harris in, and I think she's the doorway for bringing in other women into power and stuff like that, to free women, right? Because what you don't want is it that Agenda 25 thing? You don't want that, right? But at the same time, I don't think Trump's the one he hasn't orchestrated that. It's not so much Trump, it's the funny people, the strange people behind him. All right? But you've got to understand, this man, my understanding as a psychic, this man is not going to go away so easy. He's not. And he will go out with a big bang. You need to know that. All right? But Kamala Harris is in at the right point. I know there'll be people here what don't agree with this, but she is in here at the right point. Maybe it's to stop that happening, to bring the balance back into the US. It doesn't mean she's going to be in long. It just means that she's there for a reason. But I can see there's going to be a fight for her. She's winning. I'm feeling she's winning. Right? But I think that it's going to get pretty nasty. We've got the Sun card. I've got the 15th, and I don't know why I'm getting that. When do they normally get inaugurated? Why am I getting the 15th of January? We've got the Judgment card. It's not going to bring peace. And you see, when all this is over and done with, I'm going to start doing more medium shows. I have to, because it's just so awful. And the 20th, interesting. So the inauguration is January the 20th, and I'm getting the 15th of January is going to be interesting. I'm getting really strong that Trump's going to come out with something really big. God. That's Vance. I like him. You need to watch him. I predicted him last year. Trump has something on them all. There's something big to come out. And it takes us back to that funeral thing with the letter thing. Remember that? Well, JFK can still do stuff with food. He doesn't have to be in on the parliament. I'm saying parliament. In on the government. He could still do stuff. Especially if he gets in with Elon and people like that. You know, people with money. Money's the power, you know. Not so much. There's a lot of change to take place. And I think what we're doing is we're looking at people like, we're putting people on pedestals thinking, oh, well, they've got to be in the White House or Parliament to change the world, but they don't. Each and every one of us in the audience can change the world. Obviously, it helps if you've got money behind you, you know, or you know the right people. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be really, I don't even have a word to describe in the dictionary how this election is going to be. It's going to be so odd. But it has to happen this way. The people need to stand up, exactly. The people are going to take back the power. Where's the people? But I think it's been ready to erupt for a long, long time in the US. There's so much badness going on within different laws as well, even over here in the UK. And going back to, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in New York. Bad stuff. I said this a few years back and I'm going to say it again, right? When it kicks off, go inside and shut the door. Just don't be around crowds. Just keep away. Yeah, it's like the Wizard of Oz going to come out of the curtain type of thing, isn't it? It's going to be the strangest, Sue. The strangest election ever. Tricking the masses is what I'm being given as well. Tricking the masses. I don't know what that means. Tricking the masses. King of Swords. Queen of Wands. It is her. She's definitely taken it. Let's put it like I say. It's going to be all eyes on the US. It's literally going to be all eyes on the US. When I try and tune in, because I'm an empath, I get like a palpitations in my heart there. It's horrible. I mean, there's so much deceit. We've got the Magician card. Look at that. When's the next full moon? Because it's not so much the election day or the day after. It's about a week after that. That's when it's going to really kick off. But when's the next full moon? The 15th. I think that's when it's... So the 15th's coming in very strong for November as well. We've got the moon card. Trickery and deceit. Maybe it's different events of what they're putting out on the television, like MAGA's kicking off, that type of thing. They could be putting all that out. Please listen to us. And I said this the last time. With the January the 6th, I says, don't go into the building, it's a trick. And I'm getting this a similar thing again. Trick. Just stay at home. Light your candles, stay at home. Be around nature. I love that picture. Look, it's like the red and the blue coming back together again. And it's like, could it ever be? You know, like the fairy tale, could it ever be? She's in for a reason. And it's something else coming global. And she will be the one who will lead America. I'll say it again. She's going to be in for a reason. There's something bigger coming global. And she will be the one who will lead America. Let's see if it's UFO exposure. I still think J.D. Vance looks like a younger Glenn Campbell when he was younger. Right. There she is. Right, there's going to be a crash with the economy. That's inevitable. It's going to happen, no matter who gets in. I want you tonight, right, to take this with a pinch of salt, right? Okay? Because anything's possible. Literally anything is possible. We're not God, we're only psychics, okay? I mean, I've had threatening bloody emails saying, when you get wrong and you're a fraud. Well, to you, all right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not bothered who's in, long as everybody's okay. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got credible people who can come forward where I brought people through from spirit. That's what my job is, really. You know, being a medium, bringing people in from spirit. Like I say, some things are fated and some things aren't. But I'm going with what I'm feeling, and I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. She's there for a reason, and it's to take humanity to the next level. This has got something to do with outer worlds. But I think there will be definitely... They'll blame it on Trump. They always do. They always do. There'll be a crash in the economy. Short, but there'll be something what will happen with the economy. But I'm definitely getting that there's outer worlds ready to come in. I know that's the Wheel of Fortune, right? But it's just the way I read. So you've got like the outer worlds coming in. We've got the angels. We'll say aliens, angels, right? Outer worlds wanting to come in. New time on Earth. We're ending a big phase as a human race, and we're going through a new phase. We definitely need another guy, folks, in the UK. Right. Yeah, I just think it's going to get... don't expect results straight away. So if you are somebody who gets easily triggered, I wouldn't be watching it. I would try just to... I'm saying that. I'll be having a peep. We'll all be looking, won't we? But I think it's going to be bad for the nerves, if you know what I mean. Was she a big party girl back in her day? There's going to be a lot of anger. Why have they picked her? This is all orchestrated. You do realise everything's orchestrated. It's got something to do with alien stuff coming in. He's in the way. They don't want the fossil fuel there. They don't want anybody representing that. There's something about a cleaner planet to come in, new technology to come in. It's definitely got something to do with aliens. But I always said they'll bring the technology in before they bring they expose the beings in. They'll bring the technology in so we get used to their world. I think I said that last year and the year before, didn't I? Definitely last year. New technology. into the future, everything's going to change. He's not going to go away. There's Trump again. King of Wands, the world. He keeps bouncing back into the picture again. Yeah, it was just a funny, weird energy I got. Is it possible that it could be like 50-50 and then it has to go to Supreme Court or something like that? Yeah, there's going to be definitely that will say that, Maggie, definitely. So there's Trump and there's Vance and the world card's coming in. I think we're facing like sort of two different timelines here. It's really, really weird. It's really weird. The end result will be okay. Now, you may doubt my words. Depending on what side you bat on, you may doubt my words. But what you need to understand is it's about doing the inner work, not getting caught up on it. All right? So in a nutshell, what I'm saying to you is, with Trump, it's not going to end the way it's portrayed out there. You know, like the Democrats, they think that because if he doesn't get in, you know, they're going to then go and arrest him and put him in prison. It's not going to end that way. Knowing him, he'll be up and away in a beautiful balloon. Bye-bye. I'll see you in Moscow. Goodbye. Doing something with Musk somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're not going to be able to get him. Or something's going to happen. It's just the ending's really weird. The ending of it all is really, really weird. And he still hasn't pulled his trump card yet. I'm getting that really strong. So it's going to be okay, right? So like I say, the 15th's coming out very, very strong for a lot of... I don't know if it's going to hit a peak by then. The 6th, the 7th, the 8th and the 9th. The 15th is like a big number I'm getting. Not just for November, but possibly December, but definitely January as well. All right, so remember that. Right, a little while ago I had said that there was a woman, a woman of colour that would win the seat in the White House. It will not be Joe Biden. If he comes up against Joe Biden, this is what I said. Donald Trump would win the presidency of 2024. But I said, if not, there's a woman. I kept getting there was a woman. I've been seeing it for a while. And it'll be the woman what will take him down. And a woman of colour. And I said this a long time ago. And I'm still sticking with it. And I could see a woman with blonde hair standing next to her. Thinking, it could be Clinton. But it looks like it's... Well, she's been on a few videos with her, hasn't she? Liz Cheney. But I also said that we would go Labour Britain again. Then I said, I don't know if anybody remembered, it was a few months back I said it, before Keir Starmer got in, that a woman, and she was black, and I got the letter K. Can anybody remember that? Now, just recently, this is getting really interesting, this. because I don't feel he's going to be in long. Because it's really heavy over here in the UK, do you know what I mean? The new leader of the Conservative Party, because I wasn't sure if it was Conservative or Labour. Remember I said that? New leader of Conservative Party. Are you waiting for this one? She is called Kemi. Let me get this right, because I don't know how to pronounce her name. The new leader, Kemi Big-Knox. Sorry, not Big Knox. Bed-Notch. There she is. New leader of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom. Take a good look. Take a good look. You are looking at the future Prime Minister. I believe that Labour, Conservative, Democrat, Republican, it's all the same penny, two different sides. All right? And it's gone beyond parties. I think that nobody is immune to this great spiritual awakening. Nobody. And I believe even politicians. But I do believe that this woman is a good woman. I do believe this woman will somehow be manoeuvred in. I think there's a lot. I'm going to pull some cards out on our Prime Minister. And I've never hidden the fact I'm not very keen on him. It's caused a lot of division and upset in the UK the short time he's been in. Claire in the audience on YouTube. I am so tempted to go into politics to sort this lot out. I don't blame you, Claire. Keir Starmer. Let's see what's going to happen with him. I mean, really, when you think about it, our Prime Minister is somebody who let a well-known I've got to be careful with my names on, like words on here, right? Nonce, right? Off, right? He let him off. We're talking about Mr. Jimmy Savile, who was a convicted paedophile, okay? And he was knighted by King Charles. And then him in Parliament, who was a judge, let him off after he knew what he was doing, and he's our Prime Minister. I mean, how corrupt is that? And then and then you've got Tommy Robinson, what's been sent to prison. And I mean, the judges would know that he's going to get done in prison. You think it's dodgy over in the US? Dear God, it's very dodgy over here. Right, so Keir Starmer. So I haven't got to put my energies in. I've got to just clear my head here. Cup of tea. I think he's going to start upsetting people. I think I feel that there is scandals to come out. A lot of scandals to come out. I'm not sure if it's between January and March. Remember that? I've also had a very strange feeling about Angela, is it Rena? Affairs of the heart. Scandals to come out. Do you remember, I was picking up this not so long ago, wasn't I? Do you remember that thing in the 60s, and it was called, they made a film out of it, and it was called Scandal, and it had prostitutes in where they were all doing it in Parliament, you know, they were all going off with these two prostitutes. I see something like that coming, but it's even bigger. Do you know what I mean? Right, we've got the Moon card here. We've got a loss, the Five of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands. That's a lady to be replaced. So maybe, and we've got the King of Swords. I think there's going to be a lot of backstabbing coming in within the Labour Party. I don't know when the next election's supposed to be, but I think that there's going to be something what's going to happen, and we as the people in the UK are going to be allowed to vote. We are going to be allowed to vote early. So we're not going to have so much, it's not the 1600s anymore. So there's, you know, we're not going to have a Guy Fawkes. It's going to be a modern Guy Fawkes. It's going to be the modern day witch trials in Parliament to come. That's what I feel what's going to happen. I'm going to give you some numbers here. I'm getting 21, 25, 27, 28. January. March is going to be huge. March is going to be huge with scandals to come out, March and April. But at the same time, there's going to be... This all depends on a split timeline as well. Depending who gets in. So it's... I'm going to say one thing. If Trump does get in, there's going to be old cases which is going to be pulled out of the hat, which is going to loop back to the UK. Old cases from the past, and it's all going to come out. If he gets back in. If he gets back in. But I still feel that he's not going to go away, and he's going to have other people doing stuff with him and working with him to expose stuff, even if he doesn't get in. Does that make sense? I don't know why I'm getting I'm getting EPSTEIN. I'm getting them very strong tonight. At the same time, the stuff what's coming out with the UK, there's going to be a lot of stuff to take place in the US into next spring. And it's actually connected again around Trump, or it's around the Republican Party. There's a lot of worry to come for we as the people, and I worry because of, as we're going through this transition, that we have to prep and we have to be careful. I'm not saying this to fearmonger, but I do believe that we could have scenarios of, especially in the UK, we could have blackouts, that type of thing. So we need to be careful. We need to be very careful. And I still think that the food chain is going to be affected as well. I've had this vision before where I can see people queuing in New York with packages, and they're collecting packages. This is very true. Politicians in the UK are always selected, not elected. Very, very true. But what I am getting is they will be elected. the lovers. Some huge news coming out. Huge news coming out around Musk as well. Huge news coming out around him. I think he's going to be playing a pinnacle point after the election. It's like all eyes on Musk, and I don't know why. And it's got something to do with Twitter, all right? Something what's going to be taking place there. And it's something to do with timings. Remember that. Something to do with timings. Everything needs to change in the food chain. It really, really does. I mean, our government haven't made it easy for our farmers. I mean, it was an absolute joke, what happened with the budget, you know what I mean? Yeah, I see like a feminine energy just rolling across the lands. Like rolling, rolling, rolling. We need to follow the money. So I don't want you to stress so much about who's in power or who's not in power. It's a big distraction, right? What's actually taking place is a lot behind the scenes is a lot bigger. We've got new extraterrestrial technology coming in. We're having a clean-up happening. We're going through, as a human race, we're going through a massive transition. And they will probably orchestrate some blackouts or whatever to then bring in the new technology, use it as an excuse to bring in the new technology. What a time to be alive, but it's going to be very scary. I also worry about that we could be in a WAR situation. But it's not set in stone that at the moment. Frequency attacks coming through very, very strong. A bit like that film with Obama in. What was that film called? I never watched it. I heard about it. To do with that frequency attack in the air type of thing. Round about the time, I'm going to close on this tonight, right? Because it's 10 to 1 in the morning over here. Round about the time, there's going to be a famous couple, and it's going to be all eyes on this famous couple to do with a wedding or a joining of something. It's like a ceremony. It's something on the television, media, and it's around about that time something huge will happen around Trump. We're being very massively distracted here at the minute. We've got Justice. We've got Ace of Pentacles. Really, it's all a shit show, really. I'm being perfectly honest with you, right? Whoever's in the White House or Parliament isn't really running the show to what's really going on behind the scenes, and I'm going to leave that one with you. There's a world that we know, and there's a world that we do not know. But what we do need to do, and I'm going to be perfectly frank with you, right? We all need to come together, every creed, every colour, every race, because what's coming is going to be far bigger than humanity. I feel really emotional. What is coming is far bigger than we could ever imagine. And it's like we're being taught to come together. It's huge what we're in at the minute. It's biblical what we're in. It's exciting. It's scary. We're going through a transition. We're going, in the end, we're going to have cleaner food, free energy. a safer planet, but there will be AI involved with this, mind. I'm not going to lie to you. AI has been used it's been used against war, it's been used to weaponize war, but it's also going to save war. Elon Musk is right that we need to have a limit on it so it doesn't take over humanity, where we become the robots type of thing. But a lot will take the chip in the hand. But we will have the rights, because everything's going to be out in the open. You know, if you want the chip or you don't want the chip, or you want to be in the crystal grid or you don't, or you want to be in New Earth. And Earth will be in 3 parts as I look on into the future. I mean, I could be looking 100 years down the line here. I mean, I can't give you an actual... I just know when I see a beautiful world, and I see a lot of floating cities, and there's no borders. There's the crystal grid. There's New Earth. People are teleporting, either naturally or with their walking goggles in their brains, but everybody's getting on with everybody. Oh, my neighbour Carol's in the crystal grid, but I'm in New Earth. We love it in New Earth. And then there's the alien races here, which is all outed, and people going off into jobs in space. You know, it's all out. It's Star Trek coming. Star Trek revisited what's coming. This is why we're going through this shit. What a time to be alive. The amount of stuff that they want to bring and introduce. When I say they, I'm talking about a race of people who are like us, but not us. Humanoids, whatever you want to call them. They will be the ones who will bring in the first trade onto Earth. The amazing fruits and vegetables that are so good for the human body. The beings our channel can't understand why we drink cow's milk. It's not good for the human body. They want to introduce so much. We're causing disease. But not just us. The food chain is doing this. What's that? What they're called? What control the food chain? They're going to get into so much trouble. There's going to be so much lawsuits with all of them. Is it the FDA or whatever? Star Trek was definitely preparing us. So we have to all come together. And if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. It's not the end of the world. Just saying. But my prediction is that Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. And I'm going to stick with it. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. If I get it right, it doesn't mean I'm some great psychic. It's just odds. It's just maths. And I've really delved into this, guys. I've really done my research on this. I've gone into deep meditation. I've asked my guides. I've done it different to what I did at the last time. There's no intel interference. It's just raw what I'm saying. Yeah, GMOs are bad and stuff like that, aren't they? We have to learn to let this go. We have to learn to pass this on to God and just let what'll be. Basically. Because know that there's a bigger thing going on than the election. No, I don't believe that the aliens are evil. I mean, they are. I'm not saying that there's baddies out there. But no, I believe they're already here. I mean, we are living on the reptilian planet. It's the reptilians are here. It's their planet. We were brought here. We were the experiment. What's gone out of control. Yeah. But I hope you have enjoyed that. And I've got new stuff anyway. After the election, I've got new ideas. I'm going to show you something before I go. I'll put these away. I've been gathering in my resources and getting my energies back and doing a lot of stuff for myself. And as promised, I will be doing more shows on Twitch for people who are paying this subscription. Bloody hell, subscription. But I will also be doing stuff on YouTube as well. So I thought of medium shows, but because I want to try and come away from politics, I'm finding it really, really draining and horrible. And I've got to be true to myself, right? So you will always get a prediction. But this is what I want to, this is the route I'd like to go down. I made a thumbnail to show you. Right, okay. You know how you get agony ants, right? You get agony ants in columns in women's magazines, on newspapers, that type of thing. So I'm going to do this, right? It's called Ask Louise. Looking for clarity and spiritual guidance, look no further. Louise provides heartfelt advice to help overcome life's challenges. Live shows coming soon. So what you can do is you can email us when I get started with it, and then we can have talk-ins. And but I'm going to start doing stuff like that. And obviously a lot more extraterrestrial stuff, more spiritual stuff. Okay. So you'll have to let us know if you like the idea of that. And also Letters in Heaven, which I was doing when my brother passed, and I'm going to start getting back into that, and my life spiritual church stuff. And personal readings and that, you know what I mean? Like Coffee with Louise and stuff like that. And obviously your star sign stuff. I just want to get into more broader stuff. I think it's been a journey and a half. And I think that we've all been in it together. But I think that it doesn't end there, you know. It doesn't end with just politics. It's about the spiritual ascension. And it's about we're moving on into the next phase. So I invite you all to whatever you think on what shows you would like. And comment on the link below. So you like the remote? I'll do a lot of, I'll do them in videos. I'll do them. I'm not talking about the live shows. You will be. I've got a new microphone. What John's got is my friend. So I'll be. You'll hear all clear stuff when I start doing my looking glasses and stuff like that. But anyway, good night, and may the force be with you all, and stay safe, guys, and stay upbeat. Okay, good night, and I'll see you soon. And the next time I see you, you're going to have a new president, whoever it is. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you all again soon. Now, how do I get out of here? It's 999 viewers now. I think it's time for me to go. Good night, guys. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, yeah. Bye.